You to watch some boys get salty, yeah. Who's gonna get salty though? Is it you or the opponents? Alright, we have Salty Boys versus Russia F here. I requested Russia F to bump up one bracket because their average was simply too high for the 1650 to 1800 that they originally signed up for. So they're fairly low seeded in their current bracket. I don't think they're not lowest, but yeah. Anyway, let's just have a look at the civilizations picked here. You have the unit draft as well to get an overview that way. We have Believe Me here for Russia F in the pocket position as the Indians. Fantastic booming civ, I'd say, as the game progresses because of the villagers becoming cheaper and cheaper throughout the ages. 5, 10, 15 and 20% discount on the villagers. Makes it a little bit more smooth to open scouts as well, and you could go probably like, I don't know, comfortably go 19 pop scouts with Indians, even in a team game. So they'll play scouts, maybe on an extended scouts, and then follow up with the camels in the castle and the Imperial Ages. It's also a counter civ to, for example, the Franks here, as we see for the opposing pocket here. To the right side, we have Oladeshek playing as the Ethiopians here. And yeah, you never quite know what Oladeshek is going to do. Russia F, they've casted quite a few of their games and some of their players, and they tend to go a bit off meta with their approaches. So it could be that Oladeshek will be playing the role of the annoying flank here on the right hand side, and then Mr. Moon and Believe Me will push on the other side in a more streamlined meta scouts, archers, knights, crossbow approach. But we'll see how this Arabia game progresses on Battle of Africa to Arabia here. To the other side we have Mr. Moon with the Britons, so solid flank civilization. And apparently not banned. What civs did they ban actually? They did ban... hold on, give me a moment. Humans and Vikings were banned, so that's probably based on the general home map picks that they made. Well, Britons going to play the archers. There's usually no reason to play anything else with the Britons unless you're up against the Goths and you'll need to go into champions instead eventually. But Britons extra range on the archers line starting in the castle age, +1 range in the castle and the Imperial Ages, and a woman from the castle unique technology to give another +1 range. Now, as for the Salty Boys, we have Dan MT in the pocket here as the Franks. One of the most solid pocket civilizations out there. They have 15% faster foraging of berries in the Dark Age, and instant farm upgrades throughout the feudal castle and the Imperial Ages, making Franks and great booming civilization. They also have 20% hit points on their cavalry units starting feudal age, so until Bloodlines or Blacksmith upgrades are researched, or Bloodlines specifically, Franks have the best scouts available in the feudal age. Right hand side, we have Alfred with the Chinese here, 37 seconds in idle time, but that's not too uncommon when playing the Chinese. You start without food and with 50 less wood as well. So you'll need to focus heavily on food to begin the game. And having only 37 seconds, that means that Alfred is still keeping a villager lead over everyone else here, because you start with 3 extra villagers as Chinese. Feudal Age on the way for the Franks, also probably for the Indians, yep. So both players going for 20 pop scouts and with an absolute minimum of idle time. 5 seconds difference here, that's not going to make a huge difference for either player here in the scouts massing. Finally, King Boo on the left side here with the Mayans on flank. So Mayans, they get cheaper archers, they get access to Eagle Warriors, strong ones with the El Dorado unique technology, giving 40 extra hit points to the Eagle Warriors of Mayans. So that could come in handy at some point if you need a raiding unit or a response to mass or Blessed in the Imperial Age, for example. But generally speaking, this is going to be cavalry and archers heavy. We have the rush here for King Boo to buy some time to get the walls up at home base here. See Mr. Moon try to deny a little bit here, but yeah, there's a limit to what you can do against the Loomed Villager with just one scout, but it might be enough to allow, believe me, his first two scouts to join in here. Not really joining in though. Dan MT here with the scout out to assist King Boo's rush here, getting a kill as well with that starting scout. Not bad. Wait, it's not making scouts at all. Oh, there we go. False alert. Oh no! King Boo broke through at the berries and idles the berries completely for the Britons here. That is certainly causing some idle worker efficiency time to go down here. Small walls in place otherwise though, and you could probably make a gate here to lead the or house foundations to lead the infantry units in towards the town center, so you don't want to run in there. But the fact remains that Mr. Moon is completely open here for the time being, and that's just asking for trouble once Dan MD can get the first few scouts out. Towering for Alfred, and towering, preemptively towering the very exposed gold here as Olodechik is moving in with his archers on this side. It's only two archers, but they do fire faster, and they have fletching, so at the very least the tower will get delayed, but Olodechik seems to prioritize taking out archers instead here. This tower goes up. Olodechik needs to back off here or he'll lose at least one archer here. I could sit underneath actually on a little bit of a flashy split micro there. Losing one archer, almost two. Didn't get any villagers actually. Well, Mr. Moon on the other side has been losing two villagers to the initial aggression here of King Boo and one of Dan MD's scouts that are currently chilling out over here, but will be joining in with the remaining rush as King Boo just is not going to allow Mr. Moon to take any food from the berries here. 5 Indian scouts though to the Franks, wait, 7 scouts to 6 here, so Indians with the numbers. Doesn't really matter too much losing the Drush. That Drush has certainly done some damage here. Delaying walls, killing builders together with the scout. Nice value from the forward there from Salty Bois. Keep in mind that Britain's team bonus is 20% faster working ranges, so that means that Olodechik will be able to mass archers more quickly than Alfred as well. It's actually with a very nice amount of archers here compared to Alfred currently. 8 scouts to 7 archers, but Ethiopians archers with pledging, you can't really engage that without any assistant unit, but Ivan Gold, this is a Catholic transition for Dan MT here eventually. Yeah, it seems a bit far off from the cast age yet. King Boo, however, is going cast age here with the Mayans and fully walled at home, second range going up for the cheaper archers. They're going to be 20% cheaper in the cast age for the Mayans. And Alfred trying, actually getting some decent pickups here of Olodechik, even though the Ethiopians have faster firing archers. The overall archers numbers is in favor of Russia F here, though they have 15 archers to only 3 of the Salty Bois here. But less investment into army could mean quicker and smoother cast ages, like is the case for King Boo here as well, so that's a power spike that could be exploited, of course. Nice households here to keep the aggression out. Not really enough archers from Oladeshek here to pose a real threat yet in terms of walling the aggression out. And no villagers going down by the looks of it either. Seems like the Salty Bois are fully walled here and keeping the aggression out, so they, even though they had been lacking or are lacking a bit in the army, they are going to establish a strong position with already having one player in the cast stage with crossbows out, and King Boo will be going presumably straight for the gold here. And look at the stone walls going up here from Mr. Boon, really wanting to keep the cavalry raids out here and make it more awkward for archers to break in. That MT with the Frank Scouts now probably has the upgrades because actually it's not gone up yet. Playing extended field age with the Franks here, but sniping archers of Oladeshek. Local plates here, very healthy farm economy for the Franks, and also 11 on gold to easily sustain multiple stables once the castle age sets in eventually. Indians, however, with a solid lead to the castle age here, so believe me, we'll be getting a decent chunk of camels out before Dan MT can start massing the Franks Knights. Salty Bois with a solid economic lead here as well. Castle Age now on the way for Alfred with the Chinese, and actually, why do they have so many more villagers here? That's not that... Yeah, there's Idle TC for Oladeshek place in here, of course. Huh. Nice throw point for the crossbows here to take out the scouts. Castle Age is in for the Indians, so they actually have +1 Pierce armor now, and yeah, the rest of the Britons archers will... I mean, with generic scouts, that would be a good trade for King Boo, to be honest. But light cab even prioritized here for Believe Me, with the 4 remaining scouts. I guess why not? But that's in food and gold might be better put into camels at this point. You have that Pierce armor though, that helps out. So if you want a mass light cab, just go ahead. You could still kill archers if you have a ridiculous enough mass, but cast late light cab not the most commonly seen unit. It's more of a late game raiding unit. Alright, Dan and T found a couple of sheep that Oladeshek didn't, so it's just sending them to the corner, preserving their resources for when the map has run out completely of food. See additional town centers going up for both the flanks of Salty Bois here, and Castle just about to kick in for Dan MT as well. Should have a healthy economy to sustain knights and upgrades here. That +2 defense, that what's it called again, the second one? Yeah, second armor for the knights. Is it scale barding armor? Chain barding armor, that's it. Yeah, it's very important when engaging against archers, because that's what gives you another pierce armor. Uh-oh, this could be dangerous for Oladeshek, even if he has faster firing archers, and he will be up against crossbows with Bodkin, so the Alfred can use the range here to snipe lots of Oladeshek's numbers. That's a great fight. Catholic is in for Oladeshek. He's pulling back towards the tower here. Yeah, I guess Alfred pulls away, doesn't want to risk fighting underneath the tower here. Even if these aren't crossbows with Bodkin yet, it is about to kick in. Looks like we're going to have a 2 versus 1 situation on King Bruce's side here with decent chunk of camels and crossbows, but they're not staying together, so that's a bit of an unfortunate correlation for Russia F there, but looks like Mr. Boone still got kind of the better trade here. Enter the Knights of Dan MT as well, only 5 of them total, so there's, with the earlier cast late for the Indians here, there's quite a few more camels out compared to the Knights, but then there's the crossbows, which the camels are vulnerable to, lacking decent pierce armor. +3 pierce armor, though not the worst ever. Yeah, the score is a bit ahead. And could be... Yeah, it's both economy and army playing in here, as well as the kill-death ratio, which is... Yeah, maybe it's not that much higher, but definitely more villagers, more economy, more resources in the bank, maybe. All plays in. That's a kind of a 1-versus-1 situation on the other side here. Alfred is raiding Olonchik, and Olonchik is raiding with crossbows on Alfred's side. But look at the crossbows inside the ranges here for Alfred. That's quite significant. And I think ballistics is in as well. That's actually for both of them, so never mind. Oh, a bit unfortunate with the garrisoning there. We'll have to break open the walls and yeah, pull the crossbows back there. Love how the stray scouts are being used to raid here from Dan MT and obstructing or idling Olonchek's economy a little bit here. Getting some builders as well. And on top side, Alfred is here as well with crossbows. He didn't really find a way to hit Olonchek's economy next to the TC and the buildings here. So he's going for the pocket instead, and believe me, gets idled here now. We'll have to run away. It's 2 town centers for the Indians pocket. It's 2 for the Franks as well. It's only King Boo with 3 town centers here attacked. But with this amount of camels, they should actually be able to clean up the crossbows. Even if they're going to take losses along the way, you can't hit and run your way out of this. I don't think Alfred minds that much, though. He has multiple ranges working at home to replenish the numbers here. Top side, the knights and crossbows are over here. The camels are all the way back at Belimi's base. So this should be a very deadly raid from... King Boo and then MT in Mr. Moon's base here. Still the issue of Britain's extra range, of course, 5+3 range compared to the mines 5+2 or the generic 5+2. But as more knights come in here, it's getting more and more dangerous for Mr. Moon's home base. Just comparing the numbers here, it's slightly higher for Oranjek, and he also has faster firing rate, so there should be good trade for Oranjek here. But here come the Knights. Oh, this could be great for the LMT here if he dives in together with Alfred here. This could be meaning Oranjek losing all of the crossbows here. Sniping the builder, presumably one moving forward to build a forward siege workshop on the hill here. And yeah, oh, that's going to be so many dead crossbows for Oranjek. He's losing a huge mass here now. Great interception of Dan MT with the Knight's mobility here. Good army tracking. Mr. Moon has a significant chunk of Britain's archers though, and they're applying some pressure on King Boo's side here, and no help to be had from the Knights of Dan MT just yet, but they're going to clean up Oladeshek's armies and provide or apply pressure with 2-1 on the Ethiopians' flank here instead. King Boo pulling all the crossbows home to hold off. Knights house wall there to at least keep the camels out. And there's still woodlines in the back to flee to if this one is too exposed to the archers forward. Yeah, that's quite a few crossbow snipes from Dan MT there, and they will be running away. Lots of weak knights though, they'll be going down, but they are being replenished as well. Triple stable production from both pockets here, while the crossbow numbers are now way ahead for Salty Bois after the cleanup on Oladeshek's side. And cleaning up all of these Ethiopian archers means that Alfred can more freely raid and keep Oladeshek incapacitated here as well. Imperial H about to kick in for King Boo here. I missed that click overall, but 99 builders. Usually more or less enough for the Mayans here. Let's see if there's resources. Yeah, there's resources in abundance for both Arbalest and... Oh, why not Bracer? Why? Okay, yeah, we're getting everything. Arbalest, Bracer, and the multiple ranges producing as well. We'll be losing quite a few crossbows here, but trading decently still against the camels here and diminishing the camel numbers of Believe Me. And with Arb and Bracer kicking in, that's just going to be a nightmare for the Castle Age camels of the Indians. Even with their extra +1 Pierce Armor. One other checks will count looking strong. Yeah, oh, yeah, you're right. He's been taking a beating over here from Alfred's crossbows. Oh, too much to focus on here. Looks like Salty Bois are establishing a very significant lead here. One flank in the Imperial Age that makes it so much harder to hold off. Even if you had a pocket with knights instead of camels, it would still be so hard to hold off against this. Forward siege workshops, 2 of them. I'm assuming that's going to be siege ramps for King Boo here. That's essentially Britain's kryptonite. To have siege ramps in front of your own archers to soak crossbow fire. As long as there is pop, there is hope. That is honestly a valid point in some cases as well. But Salty Bois proving too strong for Russia F here. Taking the win, King Boo with 94 Arbalest's total as the most created unit. Nice KD there with 101 to 68. And who killed all of these villagers of Wladysek? Let's see the eco KD stats here. So, oh, maybe he just didn't make any. Make enough. Yeah. Good raids regardless and good judging of fights when and where to take them. Drush fast castle for King Boo there. Otherwise the pockets playing the scouts and it goes mainly straight archers from all sides. Oh, that's a very early one. Oh, Wladysek. Did it go to men at arms or something? Or maybe it's just straight archers? I didn't quite catch that. I was focusing on the Drush on the other side. 18 pop archers, thanks. Seems risky in PG, that's quite all in, but Ethiopians get that extra resources, so I guess it's warranted. Alright, I'm just gonna bring up the other screen just in case there are any spoilers in the recorded games folder. I know I have three games, it's just that sometimes it shows in Capture H that it's a different game. Alright, looks like we're going to Arena next. That is Russia F's home map. Reddit taught me that API means I'm good. Yes. If you want to find the true experts of AoE 2, just ask Reddit. They have the best balance suggestions out there, and even frequent additions of new civilizations. No sarcasm intended at all, of course. Reddit is the best place to look for these things. Huh. Yeah. Arena it is. Let's have a quick look at the civs here and then just fast forward it a little bit because there's usually not going to be any crazy early aggression on Arena. We need to switch the team names again here. And fix the score, of course. Salty Bois with 1-0. I think this happens when there are different hosts or something. What happened here? Wladysek? You struggle to find a sheep or something? Yeah, anyway, 29 seconds idle this time for Check already. That's not ideal on a closed map like Arena. So the civilizations here, we have Believe Me with the Goths Pocket. And yeah, Goths, if they get to the Imperial Age spam and their infantry, yeah, their Imperial Age unique technology perfusion, they get to produce units 100% faster from the barracks, in addition to the 20% faster they already have. That is just insane, or at least very annoying to deal with. But we'll see if they're allowed to get there. At least in the pocket position, you should be less vulnerable to early pressure, and you might be able to pull off a good boom into Imperial Age here as the Goths. To the right side, we have Bourbon with the Turks. That could sometimes mean fast Imperial for the Imperial Age for the Turks to start pushing with bomber cannons and hand cannoneers, because Turks get chemistry instantly. But you never know, it could also be a Castle Age, Castle, Janissary, Siege push, or some other shenanigans. Left side, we have Check with the Spanish. Also a strong unique unit for the Spanish. Stone, nice in the back here. They could go for a fast castle drop into Conquistadors here. For Check, we'll see if that's the intention here. Now, as for Salty Bois. Squeaker with the Teutons, fantastic arena save, team bonus, conversion resistance, so all of your units will be less subject to conversions from enemy monks. You have a unique technology, Ironclad for the siege, that gives your siege extra... Damn it, I always forget. I think it's extra armor for the Teuton siege. And they have access to Siege Onager as well, and Bomber Cannon, so good siege options for Teutons. Melee armor, +1/+1 from the extra, for a total of +2 in the Imperial Age for the Teutons. And yeah, could play cavalry, could play siege, and some of the best halberdiers in the game as well, if you need those against cavalry. But this is not going to be any... yeah, alright, Spanish get paladin, so we might see cavalry late game, but I assume we'll be seeing some more off-meta all-in approach from the flags of Russia F here. South side here, we have Alfred with the Vietnamese Archers civilization, Rattan Archers, very strong unique unit as well to, yeah, fast foot archer with high pierce armor, basically like a Huskarl with bow and arrow, should be able to nicely counter enemy archers. We're not going to see a lot of archers here though, with none of these civs having access to Arbalest. But then again, if you get to the Imperial Age with the Vietnamese and get to Arbalists, that could be a means to deal with Turks' hand cannoneers to some extent. And on top side, we have King Boo with the Koreans. So on Arena, that usually means war wagons, because you're safe-ish behind stone walls, so you can just comfortably set up your economy for whatever you're planning to do, and your opponent won't be able to scout it. And yeah, mass war wagons, if you get to them, nice. If you get to them, is very deadly. It's a pain in the ass to deal with. Halb Siege Onager may be one of the better responses, but even that is... The Halbs will never get close to a huge mass of war wagons. So King Boo going to stone first here, that's certainly indicating an early cast leader. Nah, I didn't pick orange, I switched the color. It's kind of can be quite difficult to tell the difference between yellow and green in the heat of the moment, so that's why I'm switching colors here in Capture Age. You know what? Let's fast forward a little bit here and see what happens. Goths going to the Castle Age with 23 pop here. Is that enough to sustain a straight boom with the Goths here? Where are the Turks? Bourbon going up at 26 pop, going to stone, so it's not going to be fast in from the Turks here. Scouts fight, maybe I should have paid attention to that. Cast Age now on the way for Believe Me with the Goths. And yeah, popping in for the other players here as well. I feel like there's not too much going to happen until we see some RB production in the making here. 25 pop Castle Age into 2 TC Boom for the Goths here. 1 on the stone and 1 on the woodline and gold here. And now I think we need to slow it down a bit. Squeaker going straight for the 4 TC Boom here, which I like on Arena with the Teutons. They have such cheap farms, it's easy to sustain 4 or even 5 TC Boom with the Teutons to have an amazing economy entering the later stages of the game. Should be showing, beginning to show in the villager count as it goes on here. King Boo, 30 pop up. Here comes the castle. Castles, sorry. Double Castle War Wagon, also a known arena play, which may or may not be scouted by Russia F here. They haven't really, well, it's too, might be too far back actually. But yeah, seeing Koreans picked, you kind of expect war wagons on these maps. Janissaries for the Turks here, and oh, the Ghost, 14 months. Time flies. Ay, ay, ay. I'm gonna need to make a badge, especially for you. Ay, ay, ay.
Let's go, King Boo.
Just for reference, that just a little bit of self-mention here. These follow alerts are my own recordings of the AoE tunes. 2 seconds idle TC, not bad, not bad. Important for Arena to keep the idle TC as low as possible, and the Conquistadors won't really be doing much against 2 castle building. But they're out on the field, they can claim some map control at least, maybe snag some relics for their team. Relic gold could be quite useful for Turks, I'd say. They're just very dependable gold to do anything. Oh, is he gonna petard in? Double castle war wagons and petards. You can't really petard into. You'd have to petard here then if you're going to hit all the check here. Does anyone know how war wagons fare against conquistadors? By the way, I feel like the what's the range difference? Now they're calling in Kim Noob. Such meme players. Look at the Goths boom here. 4th TC going up for Believe Me as well. And actually with 3 TCs to 4 currently, it's not that big of a lead for Squeaker just yet. Could be a means of eco protection as well, and not only for villager production. Janissaries are scary. They have 8 range here, and Team Russia is now trying to break through to punish the Teutons pocket here, because obviously you can't hit King Boo with the double castles over here. War wagons being pulled over to help deal with the forward efforts here, and Alfred with the Rattan archers from the Vietnamese here. They are not particularly strong in the Castle Age, but still a good unit. In the Imperial Age with the elite upgrade, they're just crazy with the Pierce armor and all. Gunpowder versus cavalry archer class units here. Just hit points comparison here, well ahead for Salty Bois. But King Boo is pulling away. He doesn't want to take this fight. Guess it's a fight that, due to the range of the Janissaries, it would be a bit of an awkward one after all. War Wagon 6 range, Conquistador 6 range, so you could fight against the Conquistadors. All the flaming in the chat, guys. Bourbon lost a build somewhere. Where? Probably tried for some kind of forward buildings presence then. Yeah, I see the Eco KD. Maybe run into a castle or something, trying to pull down some forward siege. Ah, okay, yeah, but if you didn't kill any, then Bourbon lost the build to Boar early in the game. So that's the explanation then. Defensive castle for the Teutons here as well. The castle is up for the Goths, and believe me, should have a nice eco setup to go into Imperial Age with a strong economy here to spam the infantry units, but yeah, it's not happening just yet. Back to the fighting. Good thing we saw you build by Squeaker. Huskarls, believe me. I mean, if you get enough elite Huskarls, maybe they can deal with war wagons as well. Because they have some speed, they'll get close, they have high pierce armor. Where's the petards? Where are the petards? I don't see them. It's it's basically only unique units on the field right now. I like that. On the more open maps, you generally don't see unique units in play in that match. Russia F with the tiny army momentum here, but they're also behind in the builders, and we have Teutons going Imperial Age here to provide infantry and siege by the looks of it. Problem is the Russians have 2 players all in. Yeah, true. 1 town center only for Turks, 1 town center only for Spanish. So economy will easily win this game. King Boo moves in here. Doesn't really need to care that much about Castle Fire if he can break through further, that is, because the war wagons have such beastly pierce armor, at least as the game progresses, maybe especially elite. It's an opening! How are we supposed to see these things? Ah, okay, that's kind of visible. But still annoying. Still annoying. Strategy was basically keep Squeaker alive. Keep Teutons alive. And looks like Władysław is going to take a heavy beating here. We'll be losing the one and only town center, in fact. Squeaker is Imperial Age. And yeah, the conquistadors are being pulled back, but don't think it's going to be enough to handle these masses of war wagons, not easily anyway. Huskarls in front to tank some arrow fire though, so maybe there's a chance here. We'll need a few more Huskarls though, I think. Squeaker is in Imperial Age. That's not the case for the Turks, so Squeaker should probably be able to trap this castle down and not need to worry too much about the aggression at home here. King Boo will be losing war wagons here, but it's also denying re-addition of TCs here for Władysław. Just look at the builder counts here. It's 30, 40 builders ahead for Salty Bois here, and also wiping up quite a few of the conquistadors here. I'd say that's valid trades here. Disrupting Władysław's economy this much means that Władysław won't be able to replenish conquistadors as easily either. And, well, King Boo is also 1 TC here, but he's still queuing units and going Imperial Age. Oh boy, so Hal is playing Doubt. See those beautiful house walls, the Ghost. Nice row of houses here before the castle attack. Ooh. If you're wondering why Squeaker is going for the 200 swordsman soon to be champions here, it's because that's the only, well, best response anyway to Goth's infantry spam. Yeah, I mean, Bourbon is still 1 TC, Alfred is with 2 at least, and 2 castles means more rat archers as well. Oh, I guess the Janissers could deal with the champions here though. No, 200 swordsmen, sorry, they're not champions yet. Oh, niggers! Wait. Champions shouldn't be killing conquistadors. 200 swordsmen, damn it! Where's the champion upgrade? Why not? Why no champion? Anyway, yeah, losing a couple of onagers there, but I'm assuming Squeaker has a decent economy here to just replenish and make whatever is necessary. War wagons numbers increasing again for King Boo here, and well, Odeshek is not queuing builders, not queuing conquistadors. He's falling behind there. Oh, now he's queuing conquistadors again, but it's definitely falling far behind here to King Boo, who is also 1 TC here. Scarls should be dealing with the Rat Archers. All 3 Russia F players over here trying to punish the Teutons, which is giving Alfred and King Boo all the time they need to mass up their units. Yeah, here come the war wagons to join in as well. With the players in the Imperial Age as well, Sling is allowed, so if Squeaker is floating resources here, you could Sling King Boo to get to Elite War Wagon as well, if need be. Perfusion now for the Goths, that should boost the production speed from the barracks. More barracks going up here. And Bourbon is also going Imperial Age. Oh, that's a big shot! The onagers 8+1 range with siege engineers, giving that means that the Janissaries don't match the siege range of the siege anymore, and yeah, they just need to run away now. Sling Boo, he needs to learn to be independent. Hey, I casted the game last Friday of King Boo winning a 1v1 with basically only Cav Watchers, having 15 builders left in the end, so... Yeah, apparently it doesn't need economy even. Just needs Cav Watchers. Well, that was a crazy game. Arabia versus... Yeah, I don't remember the other guy's Sib, but... Nice Cav Watchers play it was. Champions chasing the Janissaries here. Still 1 TC for our Turks friend here, if I'm not mistaken. So, well, while it's good for the army production. Don't need eco twice. No, you don't need eco twice if you don't lose army, that's true. That is true. It's the military that wins the games, not builders. Oh! What a save! Ratton's struggling a bit here, but we still have 20 to go here. 53 Huskarls total, 47 Janissaries as well. I think it's just a game of survival here to just deal with unit masses for Salty Bois here, and they'll be so far ahead eco-wise that they can close it out while just starving the opponents of resources and army production. Champion, Onager here. Very weak one at that. Yeah. RIP. Teuton's champions, they have extra melee armor as well, so they have +2 total extra melee armor as compared to other infantry units, like for example the champion having the more standard 2. Actually, Goths are missing the last upgrade as well, so never mind that. Oh, what's going on up here? We have... Are they elite? Yeah, elite Huskarls. Battling it out with the war wagons here, but the war wagons are in a decent mass as well, and King Boo is adding keeps here as well, because Koreans, they get the tower upgrades instantly, so that does keep the aggression away for a bit. Don't let them in, though. Oh, it looks scary! What? Alright, they're not gonna go in, actually. Okay, it's okay, I take it back. That's a brilliant move to stay and block the full gate there with the armies and cover fire from the castles to allow the Teuton's champions to come over here and clean up the Huskarls spam. Okay, that's a nice move. Not a single Huskarl was allowed inside King Boo's base. Rat Marchers versus Huskarls down here. We're gonna need quite a few Rat Marchers to one hit the Huskarls here. Heia Norge! Oi, we don't have any Norwegian players here right now. Gold White. But I might get around to cast that game you saw on Kong's stream the other day. We'll see. But thanks for the bits, of course, much appreciated. Still cheer for Norway. Yeah. You're perfectly allowed to do that. At least Salty Bois are from Britain, so they have the same colored flag as us, just shaped differently. Patterned differently. Oh. So no siege on the gear yet, but we have a pretty decent chunk. Oh, what a splatter! 7 on the gears, just flattening mass of Huskarls there. Yeah, we are both red, white, and blue. Nice. Oladichik has made it to the Imperial Age as well, has at least 2 town centers here. Do we have a... He has 3 DCs. Last one is outside, so rip DC to the war wagons here. Elite war wagons, in fact, by now. Believe me, is pop capped here with Goffs, but Goffs can't carry this game alone, sadly. The Janissaries helping out, of course, will snipe the champions, but then again, you have arguably Rat and Archers to contest the Janissaries. Of course, the Huskarls will hit the Rat and Archers as well, but now Siege on yours, that's going to be a huge issue. Look at that! Oh, shoot here. No. Oh, yeah. Oh, Teuton Siege Runner. That's such beasts, man. The unique technology for Teutons. I don't think it's in yet, but there's one unique technology for Teutons, giving the Teutons Siege Runner's even extra armor, I believe. Ironclad. Please correct me. I don't play Teuton Siege a lot. But it makes them even harder to kill. Applies to all of the siege weapons, I believe. BAM! Yeah, we'll be losing some now, but that's a good attack ground there to, of course, lose some Onagers, but also deal with the Huskarls here. Now we'll see Alfred has gone into 200 swordsmen as well. That'll probably be going champion here to keep up the champion numbers needed to deal with the Gothic spam here. Oladichik has gone into cavalry here, which is a... Actually, if you get to a large enough mass of paladins, that's also a way to some extent deal with war wagons, but elite war wagons, they are such beasts. Look at, believe me, here, 174 filters, the units killed and 344 dead. You just don't care when you're Goths and spamming that insanely cheap infantry. Teuton champs still eat Spanish cavalry. Yeah, you might be right. That extra melee armor really makes a difference. A 6 stables for Oladichik here, but he's also sending small groups of cavaliers into the action here, so that's not going to be enough here. And also we have Teuton halberdiers out on the field now, so that's a good response to the cavalier play here. Rat and Archers and champions in front now to soak that Rat and Archers fire. And in similar range to the Janissaries, I think. 8 range and... Oh, sheesh. 5+3 range, yeah, so 8 range for both. Yeah, lots of elite Janissaries going down there. Here come the Huskarls again, so we'll need some Oliver shots or champions over here to deal with that. But Salty Bois is definitely gaining ground here, and they are slowly pushing their way across the map here to take out Russia F. Again, Bratton Archers against the elite Janissaries here, but then there's bomber cannons in the back, and if they attack ground, they can take out masses of units here. What's up on the other side here? Halibs and champions chasing Hurt Skulls again, just full-on infantry spam from two of the Salty Bois players here. I don't even know what that does for the Koreans, but I think that's a unique technology for applying to siege weapons as well, but honestly. Yeah, Colt White, I signed up with the team, but my drunk German friend had computer issues and couldn't open Steam, so I had to give our opponents the admin win in the first round, so essentially we didn't play. And it doesn't help that Akkal-AOE just didn't tell us that he couldn't open Steam and couldn't play, he just disappeared, so... Yes. It's in the mods actually, Cold White, if you want to laugh or cry about it. Just look for my stream for previous Friday. And you'll see what I mean. You'll see what I mean. Oh yikes, the war wagons are in on other check's side. Yeah, thanks King Boo, I saw it right before you wrote it. Oh, elite war wagons. Poor old Laddercheck, man. Oh. And now a choke point and stacking these war wagons as well. These cavaliers, they don't stand a chance. Okay, deleting the market, that helps a bit. Ambitious to try and get trade up here, by the way. Good way to stop the trade, to put it this way. And even the elite
Go
Akkal,
less than 34.
Are struggling a little bit here. Yeah, Akkal, I'm casting. I'll be casting a lot the next few weeks or months or whatnot. Because there's going to be plenty of content. We had some good games actually. Somehow Russia F has trade running here, but they're going to have to cut that trade route quite short here. Paladin is in for Oladechek, while on the south side, infantry and Rat Archers pushing here. And I guess with Siege Others joining in, the Janissaries don't have any reason to feel safe either. Ecos are deceivingly similar here, but army situation, not so much. Thanks, Cold White. I appreciate that. I ran a league for the Norwegian AU2 Discord earlier this year, Cold White. I'm planning to take that up again a little bit later as well. That will be one versus one and open to everyone, just very casual, informal. And split according to rating. So that's one to look out for, but maybe November, December, something like that. And then I could cast some of the games, maybe even in Norwegian sometimes. Go play Islands! Oh, how do we get to read the chat here? What's the... Oh, I don't know the hotkey for finding the chat, sadly. Oh. Where's the chat? Chat. Ah, I can't find it. GG is called. At least they called it GG. Okay, it was just GG apart from that, okay. I see. 2-0 for Salty Bois. Hopefully I recorded that in the challenge bracket. I think I did. This is a double elimination, by the way, so Russia F still has another chance to claim their spot in the the losers bracket and then fight their way back to the final. But that's going to be a rough one, of course. There's lots of good teams in the tournament overall. 257 to 76. Stupid war wagons, man. But yeah, well played of Salty Bois. Recognizing that two of Russia F's flanks were basically 1 TC all in for a long while. So that allows, if you hold off against that, then their pocket will have an amazing boom and could make the appropriate units to deal with that. Alright, King Boo, let's have a look at your APM then. Nice. 20 APM for Squeaker. Hey, it's Booming Simulator. Alright.